Once I thought that art should be divorced from society. Once I wished to live with my back turned to the world. I see now that this is impossible. Society, too, must be faced. But action, when generated from an ethic, often frightens people because it does not seem to have a one-to-one correspondence to its intention. The social revolution must be accompanied by art must pound savagely on the doors of eternity. I do not want to write you, in fact, but only to see you again. To see you again applies to me as well. This, therefore, will be my last letter. You don't need. If you don't want to. Happy birthday. It seems that you wanted more precise information about your travel plans, which would account for this short note. The last letter written before you left New York and went to London. Justice. You graduated on a clear blue morning just before the summer solstice. Chatting with the two drug dealers. The motor vehicle agency is another one of those oversized marble refrigerators filled with bureaucrats of every sex, size, and gaze who generally fall into three categories: tired, irritable old men, tired, cheerful old men, and suspicious women with painted faces. The savage mind. On the corner of my desk, found him in typical good spirits. He was determined not to be destroyed by New York, although he confessed to be already feeling somewhere not around the edges. So I set up to find a new apartment. We drank coffee and discussed the infinity and the superiority of a Kellogg. Then drove the girl back to Queens. We gave him a nickel, told him the time, and whispered garbled confidences in our ears. Leaving us, he accidentally brushed past a well-dressed young black man standing at the counter with his brothers and their family. Half in a rage, habitual rage, so it seems, accused the younger man of having pushed him on the pose. The fabricated accusation took his white confessor, as if to say, it is trash like this that gave me my bad name. The affair, I told myself to forget about Brooklyn, at least for the time being, return to Manhattan. I was in this frame of mind. I'm still in it, ready to appreciate. I returned to my grandfather's apartment. We decided finally to take in the show affair. There was much coming and going out and in of the theatre, and so many conditions conspired to make life intolerable. Life is too short. You find, we find, I find, living among other people, that every person has his own life, visible and desirable, and you can't enter it.
Шесть, три, два, пять, семь.
You are alive now instead of then. The morbid person knows he was born to die, but even the short time until the end, he doesn't know how to feel. The problem is experience, specifically the concept of experience that gives us the feeling we are really living, that makes us unsatisfied with whatever life we obtain. The new object is called, you guess. Happiness is vague bliss, sunny and sociable. It considers the well-being of family and friends, while ordinary pleasure is immediate and private. If you say, I live for happiness, no one will challenge you, since everyone is assuming of the crumbs from your meal. The flaw of this philosophy, however, is that neither happiness nor pleasure can be put into reality directly. It is like pleasure Neither an orgasm nor the pain of childbirth can be recalled as feeling when you're not undergoing them. So we learn to ask ourselves what it was like, what it was like, what it was like, what it was like when the encounter or shock of sensation took place. Your monitor later to release and mystify or choose again to test if it's the real thing live or they just did some more to see if it will yield some measurement of happiness. The new object is called experience. In a word, most modern sense, it is definite and cumulative, where happiness is ambiguous and pleasure evanescent. Any question of the meaning of life is usually raised as a joke, but some urge compels us to answer such. Give experience your energy and like any living process it divides and grows day to day accidentally formally called life. The concept of experience attained its full domination they require surprise, so you launch yourself into a situation in which surprises are likely to occur. The concept on sheer quantity, on filling up or using up, alive, alive, alive. Less and less of experience can any longer be really bad or good. It can only be had or missed, life only used or wasted. Even the bad things you become reluctant to wish undone. All these developments all these developments, who has to ask, why didn't I take more pictures? You can use the need to retell experience, the need to retell, the need to retell experience. The need to retell experience. The need to retell. The need to retell experiences becomes your last means to try to redeem experience from aimless, pure accumulation. Meanwhile, the permanent condition of human life always remains in force. Youth is wasted on the young, we say, but even children know their obligations. Hooking up is a mean to knowledge. Drugs make perception the subject of experience by slight direct, direct, derangement, tuning you to the colors, outlines, and movement we take for granted. So sex and intoxication become forms of philosophy available to mindlessness. They point to a world a lot looser and more liberal than this one. I was by what I learned in sex and intoxication how ashamed of what I revealed. Once you discover these earliest meanings of to experience, of course, the question becomes how often you have to or even can discover them again, rather than repeating them to diminishing returns. So these two forms of experience may or may not have a time limit to them associated with the feeling of youth. One could argue that isolation, I isolation is overcome in these experiences. I've said your life has to be your own. No one else can live it for you, as you can't enter anyone else's life to know how it feels. I've said your life has to be your own. No one else can live it for you, as you can't enter anyone else's life to know how it feels. I've said your life has to be your own. No one else can live it for you, as you can't enter anyone else's life to know how it feels. And it's true that the earliest experiences that make you say, I'm really living, also suggest another person may be living along with you in physical passion by reciprocated touch, or in altered perception when you take the same drugs and share effects. More serious. Ah, I can say something exactly like that happened to me, but it does remind me of the time that your own experiences open the door into the inside feeling of somebody else's life. We really wish to be multiple because of the mobile and vicarious character of so many promises. From the modern hiatus, we think life could be anything, and more different lifestyles are represented to us daily, televisually, than to any previous group of people, and actual jobs are more specialized. So it's easy to feel dissatisfaction with doing any one thing. If I were another, this is how I would feel. If I had been born to royalty, I would have filled a throne in a palace like this. If I had no job, if I had become an artist, I could sit all day in a cafe as I'm doing now. The what, the whatever. A water cooler conversation in which job holders have the best relief from work revolves around the places they're going or have been. This is how they do it, but the only ones missing your life mortality, made to be under condition of all your other troubles. Old style mortality reminded us that death lay around every corner by disease, accident, or violence. Contemporary mortality expects a solid lifespan, not a premature ending thanks to medicine, but it resents the completeness of the ending of life, a life that preserves, preserves nothing and leaves no soul, and can never be repeated, can never be repeated. Sometimes the concept of experience answers mortality by encouraging the spirit of recklessness, spirit of recklessness. You only live once is the ironic very preface to actions that help kill you early, or the concept of experience pushes you to pile up the new experiences A desire for quantity, facing, facing mortality, leads to the same perverse consequence that occurs with physical goods. In this case, life, the impulse is to use it up, or sometimes to use it roughly and risk breaking it, breaking it. Breaking it. Other forms of thought, experience, confront mortality very differently. When you try to align yourself with mortal things and in the presence of quick passing objects, assimilate the perception of mortality as a sort of strength. Nature is usually what we need to experience to make the trick work. To make the trick work. But nature takes on its occult power for redeeming experience when it puts the human being at the middle point. You watch nature's decline in autumn and rebirth in spring, while you stay just as you were, half the objects in a forest clearing will die before you do. The leaves and birds and mushrooms, and yet you stay the same. Nature's beauty seems to have been made for you, since only a human being can appreciate it. But you know nature is not is not created for you. Nature is not created for you. The downside of thought-after experiences is usually that they end. If they don't end, it brings worse trouble. Some people never stop following the same early experiences without limit. The drunk finds that the fun is no longer shared as his circle of drinking buddies dwindles. Useful experiences are complicated by the pleasure of new people adding to the crowd that advances at your back, contemporary, and you refuse to leave, and thereby prove that life won't be seized to those who came after you and come after you, most after you, most of us just have simple dissatisfaction. I never took the drugs I planned to take. I thought I'd lose my mind, but I'm bored by Casanova, inveterate travelers, nature lovers, and the drug obsessed, as they speak from the narrowness and their exhaustive experience of one thing, nor can I make anyone feel what I did do, what I did do. Truly dissatisfied, truly dissatisfied. The built peaks and former highlands become flatlands. Ordinary topography loses its allure. The attempt to make our lives not a waste by seeking a few most remarkable incidents will make the rest of our lives a waste. The concept of experience turns us into gorillas in a plateau village who hold on to a myth of the happier race of people who live on the peaks. We climb up occasionally, but only with preparation for short expeditions. Only for short expeditions. We climb up occasionally, but only with preparation for short exhibitions. We can't stay there, and anyone is restless and unsatisfied at home. We can't stay there, and everyone is restless and unsatisfied at home. Therefore, Experience could be rejected or nullified, which would lead back to a sad, which would lead back to a sad. We can't stay there. We can't stay there. But a different set of solutions try to radicalize experience, making it so total that its internal distinctions of use and ways, special and mundane, ultimately disappear. These solutions appeared first, I think, in the 1850s. The full syndrome of the concept of experience had emerged by then, following shortly after, perhaps just by 50 or 100 years, the rise of happiness as an acceptable answer to the question of the goal of life. Happiness has its own history, but by the end of the 18th century, its dominance was reflected in the intellectual triumph of the life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. The romantic, with the poetry of emotion, recalled intranquility. The romantics, the first intuitive methods to use experience to find the new concept of experience came out of the sense that something had gone wrong in respectable living, in living for utility as happiness, or duty as happiness, or wealth or property as happiness. The two writers I most associate with the two solutions are Gustave Flaubert and Henri David Thoreau. Their names are hardly ever put together in the same sentence, yet they were nearly exact contemporaries. Thoreau was born in 1870, Flaubert 1821. Sometimes the earliest individuals to face a situation get its description exactly right since they know the shock of change. With the old condition right behind them, not should it be surprising that such careful observers could have laid down the early basis for resistance to problems of modern life, which over 150 years have only intensified. Each man reached adulthood in a post-revolutionary middle class that let him see he could choose any one of multiple lives without ensuring him any inherited livelihood at all. Thoreau got his Harvard degree and worked at school teaching management of the family pencil factory, and finally surveying, knowing no one would pay him for the thing he wanted most, which was to discover his true love. Flaubert escaped law school only by falling down with epileptic fits until he could come home and live as he pleased. Each saw and was fascinated by a market culture, with its multiplication of goods and interchangeable items, and asked himself whatever one could freely choose or acquire the good things of life, spending life itself, not money, not money. Each new nature the random, premature, and unnecessary death of close siblings, the dawn of the triumphant age of modern medicine spread tetanus from the shaving nick from his brother John and sister Caroline. His doctrines, asks you to view every object as you would a work of art. Aestheticism asks you to view every object as you would a work of art. Aestheticism Aestheticism asks you to view every object as you would a work of art. It believes that art is essentially an occasion for the arousal of emotion and passions. You experience the work of art. You experience the work of art. You go into it, not just calm onlooker. You imagine the figures in the painting and relish the colors and forms, the style becoming as much an object of experience as the content. You feel or taste everything. You lost for it. Let it overwhelm you, amplify to titillate or satisfy or disgust you. You mentally twist the canvas to write it dry. Art becomes a training for life to let you learn how to perceive what you will ultimately experience unplanned. Let any one ordinary face fascinate you as if it were a Caesar. Look more closely.